Okay, everybody, welcome to Game Changers with Cassie Guevara. Cassie is down. Sorry, I'm distracted by all these people coming in. Cassie is in the gallery view of mine, and she'll be leading this session. We will be taking questions. You can put them in the chat. You can also use the raise hand button at the bottom of the participants list, and we'll try to make this a really fun kind of a conversation style thing. Okay, Cassie, you're up.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, I guess. Fun fact, I couldn't sleep last night randomly, so I'm going on 2 hours of sleep. But I'm really excited to do my first ever session. And thank you to Jose for organizing. So I've been working at universities since 2013. Despite my age, I kind of had a special fellowship for 2 years, and then I was just able to become a part-timer after the fellowship ended, and then I got my MA. And so this session, as you might have seen in the video introduction, is super casual. It's going to be really open. And what I mean by game changers is pretty much just anything that worked super well for you this semester, because we were all trying out so many things. We all had a lot of pressure. We had maybe some support or zero support from our university or our English programs. And so a lot of us, all of us, were kind of just figuring things out as we were going along and trying different things. So, okay, now that we have 28 people, including me, I'm going to put a bunch of links in the chat box. So please access them. There's 2 of them. One is a Google Slides, and I'm pretty sure I set it so that everyone who has the link can edit. If anyone uses Google Slides and docs and sheets, you might know that sometimes you think you did the sharing setting, and then you realize you didn't, and then you have a billion emails about, Ms. Guevara, I need permission to edit. So please let me know. You can unmute your microphone, just tell me, oh yes, I can open it, no problem. Ooh, that was fast. I already see a bunch of random animals in the, wow, this is awesome. This is one of my game changers. Great, yeah, okay, so, and no one new has entered, so everyone should be able to open it. Okay, cool, so if you could go to the second slide. Okay, we have 19 people in. Anonymous dolphin. Someone is an anonymous crow. Matthew Keithley is Matthew. Anonymous hamster. Okay, great. All right, so almost everyone's here. Oh, and yes, you also, I'm probably an unknown because I just haven't really been able to attend TESOL conferences before for various reasons. And so actually this year has been pretty cool for me. If you're interested, I've known David Juteau for a while, since I was a Shanxi fellow when I first came to Japan to teach. And we've been pretty close. He helped me out when I was doing my master's. Pretty much in the early stages of OTJ, maybe in that point where suddenly membership started growing really fast and everything was unorganized or disorganized. Yeah, I just kind of asked him and I said, do you need any help with this? And he was like, yeah, I was just thinking I would love some help. That's it. How I became the moderator. So thank you guys for making OTJ such a really pleasant group to be in. And I know Rich Bailey, who I know from Tokai, said, a lot of us made a lot of friends here. And yeah, I really agree. And I've learned so much from everyone. So that's the end of my spiel, but more people have joined. So I will put the link to the Google Slides again. So everyone, please access this. And I guess every time new people come, we'll have to Okay, but on the other hand, you know, I can also do a screen share because of Zoom technology. So I'm just going to do a screen share just in case.
Cassie, don't worry about pasting the URL. I'll take care of that for you.
Oh, thank you very much. That's cool. There's an assistant. All right, so let me do screen share. So you can either look at my screen share or you can have the link open in your own browser, whichever is easier. Okay, here's part one. Like I said, part one is going to be about school. That means like any class activities that you did that worked really well, any resources that you used, that you discovered, that someone told you about, that worked, you know, really smoothly, or that the students liked a lot. I was at a JALT event and I presented my first presentation ever a few days ago, and they introduced Nearpod as, you know, an app that's really helpful. So any like apps or websites, etc. And then any time savers. So a lot of these kind of blend together, I think. But I'll just give some of my examples. Again, I'm not saying these are like, you know, life-changing for everyone, but for me, they were, you know, super effective. So for example, okay, my school-related things that worked well, I did journal writing pretty much for all of my classes and all of my different schools. I had students do it using Moodle at one school. I had students writing journals in Microsoft Teams at the other school. I thought that journal writing was really important for students, just so they can, you know, practice, you know, getting words out there. I usually do things like 10-minute writing in most of my classes anyway, in person. This was also a good opportunity for students to practice typing. A lot of students, you know, are totally, you know, smartphone, the smartphone generation, and many of them, amazingly, just don't really have a lot of computer typing skills. Yeah, we did a lot of journal writing, and then we would go into Zoom and share our journals in breakout rooms. Yeah, so that's something that I often started the class with, journal writing. And someone asked me the other day if I did prompts or not. Well, at one school, I had like a different, ooh, this is cool. There's a question. Yes, I did give class time for this, like 10, 15 minutes. At the one school that doesn't even require synchronous learning or Zoom, I actually gave them the whole first 20 minutes of class to kind of get into Microsoft Teams and open the class notebook in Microsoft Teams and type as much as they could. 10 minutes for them was just not enough. So sometimes I gave a prompt, like the question of the day is write about blah, blah, blah. If you could go anywhere in the world safely, where would you go and why? And then other times, like for a different school, oh, that's a good point. So thank you for that question. At one school, journal writing was all in class. The other school, I had two classes. One class had journal writing in class, 10 to 15 minutes. The other class, they had some journal writing at home as their, what OB calls outside class study. And so for that class, they could either write about literature, which was what what the class was about, or they could write about their week, like their feelings about everything and something exciting that happened. And I thought that was kind of good because the students, we could make a connection with each other, and I could comment on them and say, oh, I'm so glad you could celebrate your birthday somehow. So happy birthday. So journal writing was really nice for me, and totally possible online. Sorry if that's getting long. Okay, the next one, I would like to, oh, I can't see everyone right. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, so now I can see you on my second monitor, which I bought for teaching online. Can you just like raise your hands and wave? Did anyone regularly use YouTube? Oh, hi everyone. So can you wave if you use YouTube regularly in your class? Okay, that's like a handful. Yeah. So YouTube, and especially during this time of COVID, uh, there's just so much. I've always used YouTube, but now like there's really so much on there, and there's a ton of lyric videos that people have made, like popular songs, and you know, not even for like English learners, but just for anyone, right? You can like little karaoke. um, you can go on YouTube and search Bruno Mars lyric video, Taylor Swift lyric video, and then I would do something like that and share a song at the start of some of my classes. And I would have to, you know, go to Zoom. Don't forget to click the share computer sound button, because sometimes people forget to do that. And yeah, I'd say to students, oh, just try to pick up as many words as you can. Write down some vocabulary. If it was really hard, we'd watch it several times, or I would literally just give them a link to the full lyrics. And then I'd ask them, okay, what are some words that you recognize? Or on the other hand, what are some words that are new for you? So I did this a lot with my listening speaking classes. And of course, our listening speaking students are kind of colossal because they don't have anyone to speak with except, you know, the computer screen and whoever's on the other side. And one of my schools, everyone has video on, which is great. The other school, no one turned on their video the whole semester. It was very lonely, but, you know, at least they had chances to listen with their classmates and talk through Zoom. Okay, so resources, I used Google Suite. I used all of these different things at one of my schools, we're using Google Slides right now. I used it a lot to like check the homework. So exactly like we're going to do today in our breakout rooms, everyone's going to have a chance to write on some of the slides here. And I would, you know, convert a homework worksheet and then have different slides as sections on the worksheet. Like for my literature class, okay, this slide is vocabulary, so different groups would write down, you know, new words for them. Or this slide was about language in the literature class, so write down metaphors or, you know, imagery from the worksheet. And then it's cool because Google Suite, Google Apps, you can see everyone working like live. And it's pretty cool to just sit there while my students are in the breakout rooms, and then everyone's, you know, doing their best and typing. Sometimes a risk is that like two people accidentally start typing at the same place, and then you can like see there's some sort of like internal fight going on, and then someone starts rapidly backspacing, and then they have to go down to the next line. So that's why I added numbers here, so different people can write on the different numbers, but I guess the same thing might happen. So sorry if you start writing at the same place as other people. I use, let's see, Sheets a lot for grades and organizing grades and calculating grades. Docs was also used as like a whiteboard, like slides, check homework or anything. I used Forms for surveys and quizzes. And I know there's some people here who are Google experts and others who said that they're new to using all the Google apps. So if anyone wants to ever practice, let me know. Does anyone have any other questions so far? I don't know if this is boring for you. These are just all the things that have worked super well for me this semester. Any questions so far? Good. Okay. Scott did something cool by he like put his question as a comment right in here so I could see it. That was awesome. Okay, and then something that worked well, I was very lucky that I just happened to have textbooks already ordered for that semester that had the audio online, because a lot of textbooks nowadays, there's like a QR code or a URL inside. so that the students can just access, a website like for Cengage, World Link. I don't know if you can see my screen now, if you're on full screen. Like, I use this, and they had a website, World Link. I'll write it down. World Link by Cengage and Nat Geo. Oh, you spot here. This is just one example of a textbook where the students, had a website that they could listen to their audio for. So the whole, oh, we can't listen to the CD because we're not in the classroom wasn't an issue. And at my other school, I had a low-level TOEIC class, and this book has, Japanese in it, and like step-up skills for the TOEIC. It just happened to be that they have a website in the book for students to listen to their audio. So that was really helpful and made things less stressful. But again, I actually chose these books before we knew that we would be online. If anyone wants to know like what the textbooks are, I could write them down later. So yeah, that was a lot of me talking, and now I wanted everyone else to talk. And I think we should go into breakout rooms. So everyone has this link, right? Oh, there's like 17 messages in the chat. I'm sorry if like.
It's okay. I've got. I think they're okay, Cassie.
Okay.
If I see anything important, I'll pass it on to you.
So I'm going to stop my share for a second. I only made 3 different groups, but there's like a whole bunch of people now. This is a lot bigger than I thought. So I'm going to put down the links for, it's literally the exact same slides, but there's a group B and a group C. And I'm going to put you into 3 breakout rooms. And again, it's kind of big because this is a lot more people than I thought.
I'm
Hello.
driving, so don't put me in a breakout room. I am driving my car now listening to you, so I can't participate. I'm going to mute myself back, okay? Hi.
I mean, I can manually put you in a room. Wow,
Okay,
that's the first
okay,
time.
but I'm driving and the light just turned green, so I'm going to
be careful.
Get back to driving. Get back to driving. Please get back to driving. Stop talking to us.
Bye.
Well, that's true. Rich says I could just make more rooms. So let's see. How many should I make?
You shouldn't be able to make breakout rooms. Do you have the breakout rooms control?
Oh, no, I don't. I guess
you
that's
don't.
your thing.
Do you want to have the breakout rooms control, Manu? Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, that might be easier if you can do that.
And then you're going to be host, and you're going to have to make me co-host, I believe.
Oh, dear.
Okay, you're now host.
Oh, wow. That was, well, thank you for doing that. Okay, well, in any case, everyone has the first slide, and I'm going to copy the other links. So please, you can chat if you want while I do this, because it turns out I have to make another. So if anyone wants to just chat about any ideas so far, that would lessen the pressure.
So who here is from out of town?
What's in town?
Yeah, what is in town? That's a good
exactly. I will mention that tonight is full again of really, really interesting sessions. One I'm particularly looking forward to, if you guys haven't seen it, is not only this one and not only all of them, but particularly there's one in the evening by Rad Patterson. He's going to be bringing 3 of his high school students, junior high school students who speak English pretty much fluently, to come and talk to us, to tell us about their experiences, their impressions of ERT from their point of view. The last time I went to go see these kids speak, that was a game changer for me. That changed my entire impression of what teachers should be watching out for. And if you can catch that either live or on the video, I think it's really worthwhile for an instructor to see how they're seen by their students. And these kids are very honest and very eloquent and perfectly fluent, so they know how to express themselves. Very much recommended.
Jose, what time is that again?
I will share with you
I have the link. I've got so many windows open, I can't find it.
I got
5:30 to 7.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there you go. Got beaten to it. Thanks, Adam. 5:30 to 7? It starts on the half hour?
Okay, so people who are good at math, we have 34 people. Well, one of them is me, but I only made like 3 of these slides with 3 different groups. Do you want me to make one more, or are you okay with like a kind of big group of 10? Like, any ideas?
Nah, let's just go with what you got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say go with what you got and don't try to create anything on the fly. 10 people
Fine.
can talk just as easily
You
as
guys
6.
are
Everybody here
awesome.
wants to have an opinion, so just we'll go with yours.
Okay,
Yeah, go with
so
'cause some people are like not maybe able to participate, the drivers and other people are just listening in. So I think even the larger numbers
true.
really won't make a difference. So
Okay, all right. So
going with your plan.
EDW just got recorded.
you guys are
off this
so
video
great.
driving.
All right, so now besides for the one that everyone's already looking at, I have a group 2 and a group 3, and I will make the breakout rooms now. And when I invite you, it'll tell you which room you're in. But just in case, maybe you might want to like open the other 2 links anyway.
I did.
Also, I realized that there might be some like total beginners here to Google Slides and everything. So sorry if I'm being confusing or anything.
There's a really good chance that you're going to end up in a breakout room with somebody who knows what they're doing well enough to explain it. So
right.
just if you do end up with a newbie in your room, be kind and please help them understand.
Okay. And so on each slide, because there's going to be 11 people, I have numbers 1 to 7. So up to 7 people can write their own idea next to a number. You can talk and I know some people, some people might just want to listen, but if you want to write your ideas next to a number, that would be cool as you are talking to each other. So did everyone open all 3 links?
Oh, we have to?
Do we know?
Oh, you don't have to, but you don't know what breakout room you're in.
Right, that's
yet.
what's my question is, which one do we open if we don't know which breakout room we're in?
Yeah.
Steve, 1 is the one that I gave everyone in the very beginning. Okay, so let's see. How am I going to do this? So the rooms are already made, and I can open the room, but and it will say you're invited to room number blah blah blah. And breakout room number 3 is going to be the slides number 3. Breakout room 2 is slides number 2. So I'm going to open the room, and then I guess you'll see what room you're in. But I hope you can still click the links. I will put the links to the other rooms on the group 1 file that I showed everyone. So if you're lost, you're in your room. Oh, you can also share each other the links, I think.
If you get lost, just write it down on a piece of paper and we'll talk when we get back.
Okay, well, if you get lost, you can just come back to the main room and I can give you the link again. All right, we'll have,
just one more thing. I actually put the link on the otj.wisecat.net site on both Cassie's page for the slides and for the actual calendar page itself. So there's a link that says view the slides here. You can just click there if you get lost.
Cool. Okay. Wow. Thanks. Okay. So good luck. We'll see how this works. And again, just come back to the main room if you.
How many minutes?
Jose, what do you think? I have, there's 2 sections. This first one, we're all talking about things that we're doing in class or for class. The next one is about the home office and lifestyle routines.
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Might be pretty quick. And then the final section will just be like really short.
Yeah, because it's 5, 5, 5, 15 plus all of those. That leaves us only 15 minutes for group discussion. So I'd say 5 minutes, even though it is quick. 5 minutes.
Dang. Okay. Well, I'm leaving. I'm trusting Jose. So in any case, I hope you have fun, and I'll be hopping in the room. So see you soon.
Okay. What 2? We're in breakout room 2.
Yeah,
breakout
2.
Room 2. Oh shit. Oh no, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, the chat's still there.
The chat's still, thank God. Okay, breakout room.
And we're recording the breakout room as well.
I just realized, we're recording this breakout room and the other breakout rooms will not be recorded. So, hi everybody again.
Hi.
Hello,
Oliver.
Okay, there's 2. Okay, I got 2. I found it. Game Changers 2 and Lifesavers. Write your name next to your answer if you wish. Are we supposed to fill out all 3 of the available slots as we like? Yeah, we are, aren't we? My class activities. I'm in class.
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, just bang them in, man. Just let's go nuts. Chaos is fun. Okay, class activities. I'm typing in number 1.
I'll type in number 6 then.
Class activities. So I wrote.
I'll do number 4.
Could someone post a link for this again? I can't find it. This.
Okay, I'll put it right in the chat.
Thank you. It just didn't work for me. I had it, but it didn't work for me for some reason.
Number 2. There you go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Selfie walking videos. What else did we do? Okay, I'm gonna grab number 3. Bless you. And let's.
Thank you.
Selfie walking.
There we go.
Ah, VOA.
Oh, I did.
VOA was great. JDC. Now, what else we got here? Resources. Oh, well, maybe that's where I think I'll take out VOA and I'll put that in resources. Okay, I'm in resources now. I'll take number 1 in resources. And now I'm in time savers. Time savers. Not showering. Not showering was a great time saver. Seriously, sometimes I wouldn't shower because I was too late for class. And
that first period class.
That's right, exactly.
You need to be made up from here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's not even upperwear because I literally have a shirt that has a big marker stain that I can't wear for class anymore, but it looks great up here. But it's great as upperwear because nobody can see that part, right? Time savers. So just those 3. Oh no, there's more. Holy shit, there's way more. Home office, supplies, and tech.
I think that might be for the next step of Cassie's talk. Okay. She's not really gone through that yet. So I think these first 5, 6, and 7 slides, that's just us.
But aren't we game changers? Look at the first slide. We're game changers too, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we are only going for the first slides then.
Yeah, part 1. That's
part
right.
1, yeah.
Oh, is that 6, 7, and 8?
Sorry.
6, 7.
Yep. Okay.
Time saving.
He was not showering.
Time saving is nothing I associated with teaching online.
Not having to drive to school.
Oh, that was a time saver. Yeah.
Not taking the train from Shizuoka to Tokyo. That was one.
Wow.
What? Oh man.
Well, I live in Mishima, so it's actually doable. Like Hamamatsu, where Adam's based, is
nice
about as far as for me as it is to go to Tokyo.
Nice to meet you, Matt.
Nice to meet you, Jose.
We have 1 minute, 10 seconds, guys. No pressure.
Flipgrid is one I use. That's right. Jamboard.
Jamboard is awesome, but I never used it. But it's because it was too late. It came up too late for me to use it.
Yeah, I used Google Slides for what I use for Jamboard later. I'll use Jamboard in the future more than Sheets, I think, or Slides.
Countess was great. Class activities, resources, apps, sites. I'm gonna add a number 8. Or you know what? I'm gonna take out VOA. Countess. Countess was great.
I added 8 over on the side.
Yep, saw that. Thank you. 20 seconds, guys. Five, 4.
Oh no.
1. 5 minutes. But she hasn't pushed the button yet. Oh, this is good. Got a little bit of time.
Oh, that Matt, have I met you before, like a few years ago or something?
Oh, I've met you like half a dozen times, mate.
Way to go, Oliver.
Nasty.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I recognize you now. It must have been a few years ago, though, right?
Probably the last time was about 2 years ago. I've got 2 kids now, so I don't make it out that often anymore.
Wow. Okay.
It's okay. Maybe Matt had a beard then. No.
No. I was maybe less sleep deprived, but.
It's come to me now.
We're set, I think, Cassie. So you can bring us back in or we're okay, I think.
Cool. Yeah, I was just wondering if everyone was confused or if you were okay, but it seems like you're okay.
At CRT, we're always confused.
Okay. So I'll just check the last group super quickly and be like, were you okay? Because we're gonna go back now.
We're fine. We're fine.
All right, great. So see you in a little
Steve
bit.
McGuire here. And,
oh yeah. Okay. All right. See you soon.
Master.
I guffaw at that. I guffaw.
Everything's a relative term.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
In the land of the blind.
Is it at least better than mine?
In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So
there's going to be a whole bunch of us, Steve, that are really seriously thinking about making a study group for Google certification.
Oh,
and
I can help.
And I was going to say, if, Nate's going to be busy with running the school. I thought maybe, you could help us out being a mentor or something like that.
Okay. I've just watched him do it, and he's the master. So, together, it's mainly people studying on their own and sharing ideas, what worked for you, what didn't work. And usually the group, they share, Nate had people sharing Google slams, like show what you learned. And it's amazing. It's just amazing how
We're going to run
quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, no. We're going to probably run it as part of a session thing. So I'm going to be asking for your help. Thanks. See you guys.
Oh.
We're all muted. We're all muted.
Welcome back. Oh, sorry. What did you say, PJ or Patrick? I kind of didn't hear. Okay. I think it was Mary. Mary asked me a good question, which I should have answered before, and I kind of skipped over it. She just said, "What do you mean by time savers?" And some people wrote some answers already, but like for my example, because I had a similar homework worksheet almost every week for my literature class, I, had Google Slides for that, and I had like a template, and then I could just copy and paste things. And another time saver for me was when I was marking essays. A good thing is I didn't have to write the same comment by hand over and over. I kind of just wrote a ton of different comments on Word as they came up, and then I could just kind of copy paste the comments each time it came up, or like, direct people to a certain place where they could see where the answer was. A lot of copying and pasting. That was an example of time savers for me. But why don't we start with the breakout room number 1 for anything in section 1 for people who want to talk. And I can share my screen again. So we can look at group 1's answers. Let's see. Does anyone want to volunteer to speak?
Oh, that's us.
Yeah, so I think we were in group 1, but we didn't actually work on that first slide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of, it didn't really work out that as we probably planned.
No problem. Where should I show everyone?
Good question.
Where did you type?
Well, I mean, I think we might have kind of covered each thing,
Okay.
Each slide in some fashion. So I guess we
Sure.
could, each group could probably talk about a little bit about each one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll just leave it there to figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, it's no problem. It's casual. Anyone want to share any ideas of things that they did in class, or resources or apps that they recommend to others? Oh man, this is like my English class.
So you're for activities now or apps?
Group 1 doesn't want to talk, so what are you going to say?
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, if you don't want to talk, that's totally fine. We can go to group 2. I just want to make sure. So group 1.
It's cool. Like, yeah, I did a pretty cool activity. It worked out pretty good. I used Google Forms. I was kind of turned on to that from Richard Bailey. Like he kind of showed me about Google Forms, so I decided to do that for my activities. That was my listening activities. So I and my coworker, we made YouTube videos, and I embedded them into the Google Forms, and then the students had 10 questions, multiple choice questions, but they were also checklists, so they might have to select more than one. I would tell them, like the prompt would say, there's more than one answer. There might be more than one answer, or multiple choice. So yeah, they would watch the video, and from what we were talking about, they would have to answer 10 questions each week. So, and the students seemed to really enjoy it. And yeah, I think it was a pretty good success with that. Because they were listening to a natural conversation. They really felt like they were listening to a real conversation, not like a CD where they had to like listen to this very fake, slow, very intonated voice all the time.
Right.
Yeah, so that worked out pretty good, I thought.
Hey, David, is it okay if I share one of those Google Forms with the group in the chat so they can see it later?
Yeah, that's cool. Sure,
I'll share one in the chat.
Yeah, that'll be helpful for them to understand, like, yeah, what we're talking about exactly. It's hard to just talk about it, right? Better to show. Sure, no problem.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That sounds really cool. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions about that particular idea?
If it's okay, if I can just, I'm in group 3, so I don't want to hijack group 1, but
okay.
It's relating to Google Forms and YouTube. One thing that I did that was incredibly effective and simple was to create a Google slide with just numbers on it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do dictation. So I would do a screencast where I actually did a short dictation, 1 sentence per, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And then I embedded that onto a Google form. So I uploaded it to YouTube, embedded it on a Google form. And then with Google Form, you're able to create quizzes and have short text answers where if the students don't type exactly what the answer is. So I was able to do dictation exercises by embedding YouTube videos on Google Forms. It's a very useful tool.
Was it a pain in the butt, though, to check if they're correct, if everyone's using, like, the Japanese commas or spelling errors?
The thing with Google Forms on quizzes is that, so there's a function on Google Form that you can make any form into a quiz. And in that case, then, if the answer doesn't come back exactly as, so in a short text answer, if the answer doesn't come back exactly as typed in, it's registered as wrong. And you can put in multiple answers. So what I would do is, for example, with a comma issue, or for example, with the contractions, I would put the, please don't come over, please do not come over, because a couple kids had learned somewhere that they weren't supposed to type contractions. But so you can put multiple answers that are accepted, but yeah. Otherwise, yeah, it would be a nightmare to check out.
Very cool. It's a nice idea. Anyone else from group 1 before I change over to group 2? Selfie walking videos, that sounds really cool. Can I ask the person to explain what that is?
I think that's group 2.
Yeah, that was me, Cassie. We can talk about it in group 2. I made a mistake of typing that before. You actually gave out the instructions, stupid.
Oh yeah, you did. Someone did start typing before I.
That was me, yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, well, if group 1 is finished, we could just use that as an excuse to go to group 2, but start with Jose.
Let's go to group 2 then.
Okay, so Jose, can you explain?
Oh, you didn't want to actually go to group 2 right now?
Did you type it in group 2? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so selfie walking videos. I'm going to share the screen because it's easier to explain by showing. I'm going to stop your screen, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Basically, the idea was that I didn't want to get these kids to do anything more in terms of learning a lot of other software. And they all have their phones. They're all comfortable with their phones. They know how to do selfies. The assignment, I need somebody muted. Mute yourselves, everybody. Okay, so.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I'm going to mute John. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, probably the hospital probably won't be.
Could you all unmute John?
I got it.
Okay. The idea was that they're going to be walking while they do this assignment. They are not penalized, but I do not give them anything in terms of extra points if they've memorized something. They get extra points if they're doing something obviously from the cuff. So let me play this. I'm just going to talk over her because she did a really good job. The topic was about robots. And the framing was that they have to show their freehand gesturing. Next semester, I'm going to ask them to actually switch the phone from left to right, right to left at least once so that they can't be using notes. That's part of the rules. They have to maintain eye contact and a whole bunch of other things that, depending on your class, you can assign. Each video is 2 or 3 minutes, and I thought it worked really, really well. The kids actually, I thought, became better at doing these videos, and it was a really good speaking assignment for them. Yeah, that was it.
PJ is raising his hand.
Who is?
Patrick.
Yeah, Jose, just a short question. Did you do Flipgrid or YouTube? How did you, or did they put it up on Google Classroom? How did you collect and take care of the videos?
Got them to do their videos. From their videos, they went straight to Moodle.
Okay.
There's one university that was accepting Moodle videos up to 500 megabytes. I showed them there's a setting on the phone, and I can show you guys that video later, where it will not use a full 1080p, but use 720p to make it much smaller in case your school requires that you keep it down to 50 megabyte uploads. Another university was not using Moodle for uploads anything bigger than 20 megabytes. They used OneDrive. I had to show them how to use OneDrive, but after the first time, everybody was very good at it. And the reason why I didn't want to use Flipgrid or anything else like that, it's not because those aren't really, really great pieces of software. It's just that these kids were already being pressured by other classes to learn a lot of other different pieces of software, and I thought that I would keep mine very simple. Moodle, your phone, uploading, and that's all I asked of the kids. And maybe clicking on the link.
It also takes a lot more time on the teacher's part if you're juggling between LMSs, Flipgrid, all these different apps, going back and forth and moving grades and inputting things and keeping track. If you're not using it within one LMS, that's what killed me last semester. I almost, the workload was ridiculous.
Yeah. So that was one of my biggest game changers. Guys, Pat,
very cool.
Matt?
Yeah, it looks like you guys had a lot of resources here. You went above and beyond. You have 11. Oh, I'm gonna screen share again if that's okay.
Yep. Matt, didn't you want to talk about your stuff?
The class activities or the resources?
Resources or
okay. Where are we?
Anything.
Screen share.
I'm doing anything you want. I'll go wherever you want.
Resources, I used something called Notion, which is kind of a bit of everything software. It does. I used it with Shizuoka University because their LMS was pretty ancient and rickety. And so I was, same as Jose, I was like, okay, what can I do that will be easy for them to use regardless of what phone or kit they've got. Right. And so it's a bit like Google's website maker, I think, Google Sites. So I could embed a video from my PowerPoint presentation, and then I could build like links inside there and I'd send them a PDF doc with a QR code that took them to the site. So they could then write all their work on the paper document, and then all they had to do was email it to me with a voice recording as well. So it was pretty low tech for them. They didn't have to learn any new software most of the time, although I did have them use Zoom once and Flipgrid once as well for some speaking assessments. So Notion, yeah, it's a bit, if you search on YouTube for like Notion videos, it's a bit difficult at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite powerful.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
Because I just went onto the page and it looks like there's some pay options. Is there any significant difference between?
I paid because I got it for my company stuff, but if you're a student, it's free. If you're an educator, it's supposed to be free. I suppose they're looking at the long game. If they get you heavily invested in it while as a university student, you'll want to keep using it once you've graduated. So it looks like if you are an educator and the university's recognized, you can get it completely free.
My question is, sorry, Matt, is this in addition to the university's LMS or as a replacement because they don't have an LMS?
Well, kind of a replacement because I only had the one class there, so I didn't want to learn a ton of new stuff. And it was on my first year teaching as well, so not actually being on the campus was strange. And I'd used it already to make some self-study TOEIC classes for my private lessons. So I knew what I could do with it. Yeah, it's like a website builder, but I use it for a bunch of stuff. It's incredibly flexible. It can do a lot more than I can do with it. So I suppose it's similar to Moodle in that way, that there's a lot of entry level things that everyone can do, but the more you get into it, the more powerful it becomes. But again, there's loads of YouTubers. It seems to be a bit of a kind of a, in the productivity sphere of YouTube, it's a bit of a hit. So yes, that was my notion for one university anyway.
Cool. I never heard of that. Any questions?
No, I have some information about Notion. It's a bit hard. I understand Matt is probably used to it, but it's way advanced for most students, especially if English is their second language. Think of it as a electronic notebook that you can pretty much do anything with it, but it's really, really advanced. And I like it. It's really nice. It's the same thing as I think Microsoft has a application that is similar to it. I don't know the name of it, but I personally like Obsidian better.
That's Notebook.
Yeah, I think it's Microsoft Notes or something like that.
OneNote for Teams, maybe?
Yeah, there you go. OneNote.
Oh, yeah,
OneNote.
I have that.
Yeah,
So if you know OneNote, it's pretty much the same thing.
I used it as like a static note web page essentially for me. So that was it. Wasn't
you can use it for a lot of things,
Yeah.
but it's really advanced. I don't know that most average students would be able to use
Oh
it.
God, I wouldn't ask the students to try with that. No, not at all. Because I think it's also quite easy to break. So I'd turn off the editing function as well. So it's very much
guys,
a static website.
I'm just gonna interrupt as co-host. Cassie, we're up to 10 to 1. Now
Okay.
there's still a lot of people that want to talk, so I'm gonna offer this to you. There's no immediate session right after yours at 1 o'clock. You can extend this if you want to, and if everybody wants to stay around. But
we go until 1:30, don't we?
Yeah, Jose, she's until 1:30.
Was it 1:30? I'm sorry, I thought it was a 1. Okay.
Okay. I'm like, oh, Jose said only 5 minutes. Okay.
But I still think that we should stay at 5 minutes because obviously we planned only 5 minutes for the first session, and we're now up to 20 minutes just to cover all of that.
Right. Okay. Glenn is raising his hand. Question or comment?
Yeah, I put something in the chat, but there's a whole bunch of these software and app names that people are not going to know. I don't know 2/3 of these, 3/4 of these. Is there a reason or a reason? Is somebody going to collate these and sort of categorize them? Because I wouldn't know the difference between Yellow and Kahoot.
I know that there's a Flipgrid session at 3 o'clock today, or there's a Flipgrid for videos and student videos session today, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's a ton of these things here.
Yeah, Glenn, just don't worry, buddy. Google Google. Nail it, bud. Go for it. Okay, and because Quizlet, you're going to get all kinds of information. Kahoot, you're going to get all kinds of information. Google them up.
Yeah, I put in the Kialo, which is a way for students to do debate. That's very cool that I just tried this year. And they can see they can see on the screen what the other students said and respond to different ideas. And it's good for on demand because you can do it on your own time. So a lot of the things I liked is because I'm on demand last semester and next semester. So anyway.
I wrote some words. I know Answer Garden it makes a word cloud for students, and I know Catherine here is an expert on Nearpod because she gave a presentation. So it has some games. You can make lessons with a ton of different activities. You can make quizzes and stuff. It's really cool. I don't know a lot of other stuff. Oh, Jamboard, that's really cool too. I meant to do that today, but then I just didn't get to. So people can draw on it, add images quickly. Good for brainstorming. So that's all I know, which is a lot more than a few months ago. I don't know what these are, but should we go to group 3 though?
Good idea.
Thank you, group 2. So anyone want to volunteer from group 3 for any of these slides?
If anybody's done Dictogloss activities before in class, they translate really well to an online environment, especially because you can put people in groups so fast. So if you have a fun listening exercise, doing it as a Dictogloss activity works well, and you get, a 4-skill activity out of it. So I recommend that.
Very nice.
Someone had brought up Google Forms before, but I found one of the classes that I'm teaching is a test prep class. And any textbook that the students are required to buy it's very easy to set up a Google form that basically becomes an answer sheet for them so that they can write in their textbooks directly and then put their answers into a form that then the teacher can see, kind of get a, what's the right, a pulse of the room sort of sense of whether they understand or
not. Can I just jump in there?
Sure.
For that test prep thing, that the app that I mentioned on the other form, I think is really good for that Socrative, because students can work at their own pace, and as soon as they've answered one question, the teacher will see their response. Whereas with Google Forms, you don't see their responses until they've finished all the questions at the end. So yeah, Socrative is really good for monitoring live, seeing the progress, and you can see if one student's stuck on a particular question, you could just go and help them. So I think, yeah, most tools have the same sort of setup as Google Forms, where someone submits at the end. So that's sort of the difference with Socrative, which I think would be great for test prep. You can just have, multiple choice, 4 choices, and they work from their, work from their textbook.
The question though, just what does Socrative give you after, like as a teacher? One of the nice things with Google Forms is that results go straight over to a Google Sheet, which then means that you can sort of hold on to class participation after the fact.
Yeah, you'd still have a record of that kind of stuff with Socrative too.
Does it come over like a CSV or?
Yeah, I think you download it in CSV. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's there are paid versions for it, but the free version worked well enough for me and probably for most people.
To be honest, what I was using Google Forms is because my school has a Google Suite for all students, and so.
Yeah, you use what you have. So you can also do one-off questions with Google Classroom too, and so that's very similar. And then it can be, you can have the option of whether students see the other students' answers or not. And then if you're doing it live, you can show the answers and walk through it. I've done that, multiple choice questions or short answers. So that's like forums, only just kind of one-off kind of things.
Mm.
Cassie, where are you?
I'm here. Yeah, did anyone have any questions for these guys here, or did anyone else from the group want to volunteer a different thing to introduce?
I want to throw one thing because it's probably something no one knows of. I'm doing a reading class at Meiji Gakuin, and I was trying to get a way to introduce literature in the classroom, and I found a webpage of SparkNotes, which is kind of like Cliff Notes is what I knew in high school. But they had this thing called the No Fear translation page, and it was all Shakespeare was there. A number of other books were in, but it basically translates difficult language into modern junior high school English.
Wow, that's cool.
So yeah, that SparkNotes No Fear translation just allowed, I did a Shakespeare project with first year Meiji Gakuin students, and I didn't think that would be possible.
That is awesome. Actually, yes, I have a literature class, but I haven't done anything as, advanced as Shakespeare. So, and I use SparkNotes when I was in school sometimes. So that's pretty cool that there's one for, students, English of a second or foreign language. Very cool. Okay, if we're done with this group, we can move on to the next section. Any last, okay, Jose is nodding vigorously. So part 2 is about home. Okay, so now we're kind of getting out of the classroom, even though we are teaching from home, most of us. So different things that you could talk about or share, or ways that you did you do anything to convert a room into your house to become a type of office? Did you buy anything, any technology or any goods that just made your life easier or helped your health, your physical health or your mental health a lot? Did you have any, and this is more casual, I think, than the first section. So did you do any things that were just important for like your sanity? Or did you have certain routines that you're grateful for? Because I think if you didn't have a routine, then things might just get chaotic or people might get into a slump. So my examples, I didn't have an office. My apartment's really small. I don't know if you can see this because, but anyways, yeah. So I have like this, supposedly it's a living room, but it looks like a hallway. And I pretty much like converted that into an office because just for 2 weeks while I was preparing for the semester online, I was hunched over my dining room table at my laptop. And already after 2 weeks, my shoulders and my back and my neck were killing me. And so I bought a desk for work. It's an adjustable standing desk. I did get it from Amazon. There's this tiny lever over here that I can just pull it up, and then the desk goes up or down so I can sit at it as well. So kind of making a space for work it changed everything. And I also, on Amazon again, I know I should probably order from Big Camera or something. But I got an external monitor, and mine is the baby here compared to like Jose and some other tech whizzes here. This is 26 inches. And for me, it's perfect because the desk can't even hold a bigger monitor. But having dual monitor also helped a lot, so I wasn't hunched over my laptop. And then, you know, over halfway through the semester, my eyes were killing me, so I got these 50% blue light cut glasses from Zoff, and it really helped reduce the strain. I also keep my PC on like night mode all the time now, so it's like slightly yellower than usual. Yes, Jose is doing. Yes, I recommend it. And I don't even really care about the color. It doesn't really seem different to me. So I use both these glasses now and the display. And then for sanity, I really need to do music because my choir and everything is canceled, and I have a hamster, which is my pet. I wish I had a dog, but no, actually this place is not really pets allowed. So now we're going to go back into section 2, which are the blue slides. I don't know, do you guys want to just stay in the same groups, or do you want to mix up and be in a different group? Might be.
I think we stayed. That's fine too.
It'd be faster.
It'd be faster.
Yeah, that's true. It'd be a lot faster.
We wouldn't have to find a new link. Yeah, we wouldn't have to keep track of which link was what. We'll just go back to the one we
Exactly.
used.
All right, well, let's go back to the breakout rooms, and I guess about 5 minutes again. And if you need any help or anything, just come back, let me know. But have fun.
Just before everybody goes,
Oh,
did actually stuff up the link on the OTJ Wisecat website. It's only the group 1 link that only gets you to the group 1
okay.
slide.
The group 1 slide, I think I put the links to the other rooms on the group 1 slides.
We're good now though, because everybody has those links for their group.
Okay.
No, group 2 is good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so work on the blue slides with your group, and I'll see you in about 5 minutes or so.
Okay, where's my
Hello, here we are again. We got to stop meeting like this.
Just 2. Home office, supplies and tech, things that keep you sane, lifestyle routines. I'm going to do home office number 1.
I'll drop on home office number 6 then, like before. I've got a desk riser.
Yeah. I'll do number 2.
Cushions. Better microphone, yeah. I know all about that. But I keep forgetting to actually choose the better microphone in Zoom. So.
Even though I said, look at all those people buying all this stuff just for teaching, and then, oh, okay, I got a little bit of money. Oh, that was cool. I'll buy that.
Things that keep you sane. You know what? Because it really is the truth. I'm going to take number 1 in part 2, things that keep you sane. I'm going to write, OTJ kept me sane.
Yep.
Routines. Routines. Cooking. It's a good chance I actually learn how to cook.
I family support for me was got 2 young kids, so just we live with the grandparents for a few more months yet, and just having full very long day, very understanding people to chip in when I could not was fantastic.
Better microphone. What else? Did I buy anything new? Well, I bought an entirely new computer, but I don't think I can recommend that to everybody.
Might be necessary though. I mean, a few computers shutting down randomly when they overheat from Zoom.
I think rather than recommend
my third computer, I don't want to tell everyone that I bought a third computer.
Well, rather than recommend a computer, I think you can say we recommend to the extent that they can afford to keep up to date. You know, because a lot of people before COVID, you know, they were dealing with Mac or PC that was 5 years old, and they couldn't literally do Zoom. I mean, I had an old iMac that was 8 years old, and it could not do Zoom.
Oh, I was safe by about a year then, from the sounds of it.
I'm sorry?
I was safe by about a year because I bought my iMac about 6 years ago, but I got it decent spec, and it seemed to be fine. I think it crashed on Zoom twice only. So it held up pretty well, but I've got half an eye on a new one.
I think a lot of our students have the same attitude that some older teachers, I mean, not by age, I'm an older teacher, but I mean, you know, the people that have been here a long time, because it was so low tech before, they have this attitude, well, I don't want to spend the money. And I understand if they genuinely don't have it, but a lot of my students, they've got 3 phones and they've got a new car.
Yeah.
They just don't prioritize tech because society has told them it's not important.
Yeah.
I think we need to enforce not only to our students, but to our colleagues, when you can, stay up to date, because even if you go back to the classroom, this is stuff you'll use.
If they don't get that by now, holy cow.
Yeah, but some of them don't.
Well,
yeah, I don't think, I felt a lot at the beginning, it really wasn't, the university should have, my university supported teachers that didn't have the tech. They gave money to the students for them to use to buy a printer or upgrade, whatever. But it really was unreasonable to assume that part-time teachers, not even the techie things, like you're going to know Teams and Google and Moodle and Suites, and you got to know all these different things. Oh, and by the way, you need all this technology to do it. So I think they really should. I know it's possible to give a camera to every teacher, or a part-time teacher. We have about 200 part-time teachers, but yeah, keep up if you can. But I feel sorry for people who, you know, they had to struggle. So
I'm for part-timers.
Yeah.
I'm in 3 different schools, 3 different LMSs, 3 different systems. It's funny because you guys were talking about Flipgrid and all these things and Notions, and I used some of these last year. This year I cut all it down and went to basic prints because I wanted, like Jose was saying earlier, I wanted them to learn Zoom, and that was it. And everything else would be an activity we could do within one of the LMSs. But I used to use Flipgrid. I used to use Quizlet. I love them, but it just seemed like to be too much in this. So, you know, like you said, it's for, as a part-timer, it was very frustrating. I have to use Web Class, Moodle, and Google Classrooms, and it was, you know, and one school was very, very supportive. They bought Zoom professional license for us. They gave us some training. They're talking to the teachers union about giving us, instead of transportation, giving us that amount for electricity. But the other 2 schools, no support, no help, just this is the app, use it.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's important to think of all the part-timers and people who can't.
We're getting tasks, but in the second semester, now that you know all of these, or you feel you know these a little bit better, are you going to go off and try some of the other things? The students know how to use whichever.
And I'll tell you why, because
boil it down.
2 of my 3 schools are telling me that we've got to do split.
Yeah.
Both synchronous and asynchronous. So I'm going to Zoom and the LMS, and then classic prints and activities that I would normally, I mean, communicative, and I do communication courses, I do functional courses like presentation or essay writing, and then I do content courses. But I'm going to go back to just traditional tech. I mean, just the Zoom, the LMS, and then prints. Or maybe a link for video, but not.
you all reacted that way. So you're not going to try anything new, but you did, or is it you've done enough, you're just going to reuse what you did, or you're not going to do anything new?
I'll tell you why. I basically come to the same conclusion as Patrick, but for a different reason. I was talking about those superstars that Rab Patterson's going to bring tonight. And these kids, one of the things that stuck with me the most when I was at the previous session that they did, they said that, let us tell you why we really had a bad experience this past semester. And they told us a bunch of things. But one of the things that really stuck in my head was this. They know that their teachers were trying hard. They know that their teachers are trying to give them a really good experience, but they ended up with this situation. One 16-year-old kid now has to learn 2 LMSs because they had teachers using either Google, wanting to use Google or Moodle. Then, even if the teacher was trying to be traditional, they had to learn Excel and Word. They also had to learn how to type because they didn't type before. Another teacher was trying to be innovative and fun. They were using Flipgrid and Nearpod. And basically boiled down to this. They said, we spent more time learning tech than we did learning how to do our subjects, much less English. And that just told me an awful lot right there. Like Patrick, I'm going to go down to basically reading articles on the website, doing those selfie videos. I know these kids know their phones, using Moodle and talking on Zoom, but it's not because of me. If it was just on my shoulders, I would be doing what I thought I needed to do to get those kids the right experience. But I know what they're going to go through if I keep asking them to learn. Oh, let's try this new software, kids. And the kids are going, oh no. That's why I'm doing it. Cassie, are we up yet? It's already 8 minutes.
Yeah, so you guys are good?
We're good. We're always good.
To go back? Okay, great. All right, so I'm closing the room.
Timmy, are you okay? I didn't hear from Timmy.
I'm good. I'm just silently observing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, man.
No apologies needed.
Oh, when you click the button leave breakout room, it doesn't just dismiss it. It actually brings you back ahead of everyone else, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Just figure that out now.
I also wanted to tell everyone who's in breakout rooms, I am recording this, but of course I'm only recording the stream that I am in. So I'm not recording your breakout room. If that's a good thing or a bad thing, it depends on what happens in your breakout room, which of course stays in your breakout room.
Oh, I was wondering about that because at some point it was just me and John chatting and I was like, is this being recorded or is Jose's room being recorded? I wasn't sure.
We're being recorded. It's cool. And Cassie, I wanted to congratulate you before everybody else leaves.
What?
You hit the audience number highest so far in all of the sessions that I've been in. You've had the biggest group.
Wow, thank you guys. I mean, it's still Tuesday. I'll have like the whole rest of the week, but that makes me feel awesome. And you guys are so great.
You are awesome.
Thank you. Oh man, I'm hardly doing anything. But anyways, let's start with group 1. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone, to everyone for coming. I'm gonna screen share again. We're gonna go to the group 1 blue slides. I see some kind of funny answers already. And even if you guys don't volunteer to talk, I might read some.
Oh, good. Cynthia's here. Cynthia made it. You didn't get into a car crash. That's good.
Oh my gosh.
Just finished lunch. Thank you. I'm multitasking big time today.
Take care. But I'm glad you're inside sitting down or at a desk or something. Okay.
The office chairs there.
Right. All right. So does anyone want to volunteer? It can be anything. You can, anything in the blue section that you want to share.
What's the monitor hook?
Oh yeah, I don't even know what that means. Who wrote this?
Maybe we got Zoom bombed.
You might be
I'm
muted.
in group 1. Yeah, I'm in group 1, but I'm not sure who wrote that. I believe it's a device for being able to adjust the height of your monitor, so that you can either be standing or sitting or whatever, just an adjustable. Yeah.
A hook? Does it?
Hook.
Where is it connected to? It's not connected to the ceiling.
No idea.
Some pirate's arm.
Steve is gesturing.
It attaches to the back of your desk. And
it's
a spring-loaded thing. I didn't write it, but it's a spring-loaded thing that you can adjust it in various ways, and put the monitor where you want it.
Ooh. That's cool. Okay,
Like,
everyone.
Jose's got for his mic.
Yeah, you can buy them for mics. You can also get them. They're actually much cheaper for monitors than they are for mics, because for mics they have to be better built because of vibration. For monitors, you can get something as low as 10,000 yen that will actually hold 2 monitors in positions that will be on top of each other, off to the side. 10,000 yen would be fine, but you've got to make sure that your monitor actually has the mount at the back to do that. So choose your mount and then choose your monitor and make sure that the salesman tells you, yeah, this will work on what's called a VESA mount, VESA mount. But yeah, they're great. I want one for my next set.
Steve McGuire in the chat box is asking cheapest mic stand.
Cheapest?
Anyone?
Yeah, you said good ones are expensive, but
cheapest one is the one that came with your mic. I mean, the more important thing, I don't know if you can see it here. I'll try to shine a light on it. This arrangement is called a shock mount.
Ooh.
And what this does is it separates vibration from the arm. So I could slap this arm and you won't hear anything. I could slap my desk. You'll hear sound coming from the desk, but not through the arm. So the shock mount is more important. And a stand cheapest, probably if you get one with a shock mount, but it has to fit your mic. You have to be careful of that. Probably run about 8,000 yen. Without a shock mount, gosh, down to 2,000 yen. Depends. It depends on your mic, depends on what you want. I can talk to you about that later, Steve.
Good question. This is kind of relevant. So like 6 years ago,
there it is.
I have like an example of a super, super cheap one, and it doesn't even go up very high because it's for your desk. Unfortunately, the brand is called On Stage Stands. And then I can put a microphone to, I'm not even using this microphone yet. I got this for like music purposes, but I kind of like the idea of having the arm so it can go in front of your face instead of me having to like go close to my mic like this.
Shocking news for you though. This thing costs upwards of 12,000 yen. And if you're not careful, you end up paying 15,000, 16,000 yen for it. But I can point you in a direction where you can get it down to 12.
Okay. Thank you. So anyone want to talk about any of these things on here?
Yeah, let's get back to what we were supposed to be talking about.
I mean, that's relevant, I think. Some people are just using like headphones like this.
Which are fine.
Yeah. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, you sound, what?
Oh my God.
Just kidding.
Well, yeah, this is like the simplest thing to do, right? If you don't want a big fancy mic. Anyone want to explain any of these? If not, then.
I have a question for Cassie.
Hi.
Can I ask a question about your slide, which I think is relevant because yeah, well, it's related to what I wrote in a different slide, but in the picture, and how do I explain it? The one with you have your hamster in your room, and you have the photos. Yeah, that one.
Oh, bad.
So for me, like your room looks really well organized. Like I can't show my house. I need to have my house. So I use my office. I try to keep everything in my office. I feel really lucky to have an office and then I can use it for work. I just made a point. I'm just always going to go to my office when I teach because I can't manage it. But I was looking at your photo and I looked how you organized your space. Like it looks like you don't have a lot of space, but you organized this narrow space, which lets you have a clean wall for your background. Is that, so I thought that was the point. And, but I also noticed, so I was curious, how did you organize it so you had this narrow room that's suitable for Zoom and for teaching online?
Well, I moved for my new job in March. And then the next month they said, we're teaching online. So I was like, okay, I spent a lot of money moving into central Tokyo. And then I'm just going to teach from home. Oh God, I was supposed to have a shared office actually. And I was excited. It's going to be my first ever shared office. And then I just never used it once. So I figured, yeah, I should make a workspace. And even though it's narrow, I kind of tried to find narrow furniture. So this shelf here is from IKEA, and then the desk is by a company called Sanwa. And then actually, I'm so glad I ordered this standing desk, which is adjustable, because it went out of stock like almost as soon as I ordered it. And yeah, I just thought that I would prefer to have a working space as opposed to just sitting at my dining room table, which was the only other choice really. And also this this little hallway thing where I'm here right now, it's like my study space, but also like my workout space. And then recently I got an electric ukulele, so just last night I practiced recording a song here at the same space. So it like converts. But some people are able to work anywhere, like on their bed or whatever. I don't know about all of you. I think maybe people are working in the kitchen, teaching from the kitchen, I should say. But I don't know. Are there people here who are just okay with working anywhere in the house, no problem? Jose, yes. Yeah. Some people shake their heads.
I mean, Cassie, is your room, is that your whole room? It looks like you made it like a space. I mean, that's what I consider. Is that a hallway or is that a whole room?
It's literally, like, it's supposedly a living room, but it's as narrow as a hallway. I have my bed upstairs, but I definitely
Oh, okay. So it's originally this narrow room.
Yeah.
We're able to just use that space for your work.
I honestly didn't know how I'd use it because there's not really enough space for a sofa or anything, but now it's like the office yoga space.
Interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I make a suggestion for you, Cassie? Just realize something.
Yeah, sure.
Underneath that carpet that you've got, the green carpet that you've got there, I don't know if it'll interfere with your yoga, but for other people who are using standing desks, one thing that makes me able to like stay in my kitchen and cook for a little longer than most people is I went to Costco and I bought these kitchen mats. And they're like these foam gel mats that you can stand on for quite a while. And if you're going to be at a standing desk, that'll probably actually help. But if you're going to use a yoga mat, then you're going to have to move this thing. And they're actually designed to adhere to the floor. So you have a hard time until the adhesive starts to get a little bit weak to constantly keep moving it around. But for other people, go to Costco. They sell them. They're about 1,800 yen each. And might make it easier to stand for a little longer.
Yeah, they do have some nice, comfortable mats like that. But actually, yeah, this is a little carpet. It's apparently an Ichijo-sized carpet. And then you see the brown thing underneath the desk? It actually goes across the hallway. So I'm also standing on it. It's like a 100 yen, you know, those puzzle tile type things that like, Adam is like, oh yeah, it was 100 yen puzzle square mat things that just stick together. So I do have more cushion under my feet than I would if I was just on this thin carpet on the wood floor. And yeah, I think taking care of your feet is really important. And also when I'm standing, I always stand when I'm teaching and then I sit when I'm grading or something. I tend to like do like yoga tree poses sometimes. So like, oh, I'm on one leg right now and my students don't notice. But yeah, I have some cushion. I do like those kitchen mats though. Sorry, this became all about me again.
Kitchen mats.
they're really nice.
So Cassie, are you?
Hi again.
Cassie, are you standing now?
On one leg, yes, I am. I'm on my left leg, and so my legs are like this right now. But you know, my students can never tell.
We're gonna tell them.
Uh-oh. Right, okay, so yeah, sorry again, that became about me a bit. Were we on group 1 still or group 2?
I think we were in group 1 still. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. Someone said like they're using a footrest to help swollen ankles. That seems like a really good idea. Yoga ball. Is this Rich? Is this Rich with the yoga ball on the treadmill?
Rich's comment, I was the secretary.
Okay. Yeah. A yoga ball is really good, a substitute for an office chair, I think. Get your core strength and your balance. Cool. Okay, and anyone else? We should probably move on to the next group unless someone really wants to share something. Plenty of plants, yoga, stretching nightly. Me too. Keep in touch with friends and off buttons. That's a hard one. I'm sure everyone is just online all the time now, right? At least I feel like it. Ooh, motorcycling to work. Very cool. Okay, so if we're good, we'll go into the group 2. Yeah. Thank you, group 1. And thank you for the question, Lisa. I watched a ton of like videos about small apartments and furniture and how to make an office space. So YouTube has been one of my saviors this pandemic's, you know, age. Okay. Okay. So group 2, anyone want to volunteer anything?
Just to the first one there, Cassie, the first slide, I wrote multiple seat cushions, but I think I would like to change that. Although multiple seat cushions are actually important. So I basically have an office chair, but I also have multiple seat cushions because they get flattened out because you've been sitting on them all day. So you switch them out every day and then they start to rise back, or you can go wash them. And trust me, you need to wash those things. But the other thing too is if you haven't yet done it, do yourself a favor. I remember now because Teresa came on and I helped her with her LAN cable attachment a couple days ago, is to get off Wi-Fi. I know that you think that Wi-Fi connection is fine, but your kids, I was also helping James Devereaux. He thought
it still doesn't work. The LAN cable still doesn't work.
I'm gonna help you with it. You stop talking to me. So I'm gonna help you with it. So this is what happens when you only have Wi-Fi. Okay, everybody take a look at that. Okay, so get on a LAN cable. If you can just shove the LAN cable in there, it'll really help. Teresa, I'll help you with that a little bit after. Okay.
It registered. It registered, but it wouldn't allow it to open Zoom and stuff. So
well, we'll take care of that. I got to be on that with your computer before we can really tackle it from here.
Thanks.
No problem.
Okay, great. So cushions, yes. Anyone else? And wash your cushions.
Wash your cushions.
Anyone else want to share anything? Notebook computer stand.
Really important. Get your computer off your desk. It has to be cool. A lot of people are abandoning their Macintosh Airs because they really get hot. And then I ask, are you keeping it on your desk? Oh no, I'm keeping it on a book, which is even worse. It's like wrapping it in a blanket. Get a computer stand, okay? Adam will tell you that you can get one for at least 100 yen. That's true, you can, but I would suggest that you get something that's actually worth your $2,000, $1,500 computer and get it off the desk. Get some air under it, okay? If you're not gonna get a new MacBook Air, get some air under that thing. And that includes just even putting 3 coins.
This is gonna be covered in the Mac.
Yes, it will, Joe, but I'm just saying it now. Yep, just gonna say it now because some people aren't gonna be there.
Or just don't buy a MacBook Air this year because the fan's not connected to the heatsink, so it doesn't even cool it off quick enough.
Yep.
The fan does literally nothing.
So there you go.
Catherine asked, what do you guys all do for lighting, or what do you suggest? I don't have any special lighting, which is why I do have a shadow on my face, but I've kind of contemplated buying a little ring light. But then I know the ring light gives you like those white circles in your eyes. So like, I don't know. Does anyone have a suggestion? Teresa's lighting just looks great. I don't know if that's your normal light or what.
Yes, what I do is I put the window in front of me and then I put the wall behind me. That's the key. I have no lights on.
Wow.
I have no lights on in my house. It's all dark. And I have if you want to see, I'm in my bedroom right now, but I have a ceiling fan. If you look at that, there's a light and the ceiling fan is on with no light on. So my shoji is covering my window, but I get bright light. And in my office, I sit with the window in front of me and my ocean behind me. So I always get a bright video. But as Jose said, my Wi-Fi sucks.
Teresa, you said you have an ocean behind you?
Her virtual
yeah, when I do my lessons.
Oh,
when I do my lessons,
okay.
No virtual.
Oh.
No virtual. It's actually an ocean backdrop that I bought and I hang it over the whiteboard because I don't like virtual background because it makes the screen all weird. So
that's true.
I like the natural look.
Sometimes
so I bought it off of eBay.
Oh, okay.
eBay.
eBay ships to Japan. Is there a Japan eBay?
Yeah.
Yes. No. I got it from America or China. So there's an app that just says eBay. It's an eBay app. Which with COVID-19, it's been blocked.
I see. Oh, that's too bad.
So
The ocean backdrop sounds nice.
It got blocked. I bought everything before it got blocked.
Oh, right.
So it was just lucky.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Does anyone else have like an actual lighting fixture that you use if we're not blessed to have the natural lighting? Because I know for me, I'd have to go down my little hallway and then I'd have to stand in front of my stairs if I want the window. So any other, Susan?
Yeah, I bought a really cheap ring light. I'm not using it right now. I'm at home at the moment, not in my office, but I needed that light in order to balance the natural light shooting in from one side. And it works perfectly. It's great. It was like, less than 2,000 yen investment. It was totally worth it. Yeah. In fact, that's the only piece of hardware I purchased last semester. For the coming semester, I'm purchasing a few more items, but the ring light is the only thing I bought last semester. Really glad I bought it. I think it's really important for our students to be able to see us and for us to be close to the camera and visible. And, I think that's really important for them. Yeah.
Totally agree.
Are you using it now?
Oh, no, I'm at home right now. This is natural light from the window. Yeah.
Everyone has such great natural light. Unfortunately, I don't. If I went upstairs, I would, but now we're getting to the Lisa, it's like a little light that's in the shape of a circle, and then the light from all sides of the circle, I guess, come onto your face and make it really bright. Popular with YouTubers. We need to go to group 3. Sorry.
So why don't we hang around a bit? If everybody wants to hang around and Cassie wants to hang around, I'm okay. Not until 2 o'clock is the next one.
If anyone has to leave, I just want to say thank you so much for coming and sharing your ideas, and we'll try to get these slides up so that everyone can access them. But thank you so much. So if you have to leave, that's totally fine. And if you're part of group 3 and you can still share, I'd love to hear from you. The last part of the session was just to be like, what is one piece of advice that you gave to yourself or that you'd give to someone else? But if you have to go, that's fine. So thank you very much.
I think we're all staying. Actually, no one's leaving. I don't hear anyone leaving.
Oh, well, now they'll have pressure to stay. Now that you said that.
Sorry, I do have to go. I'm sorry. I have to go to work.
Thank you, Steve.
So,
nice to chat with you.
Yes, nice to see people live and talk. That was great.
We'll
Great
see you
job.
at the other
Thank you,
sessions.
Cassie.
Yeah.
See you online. Bye.
See you, bud.
Anyone from group 3 who wants to?
Yeah,
alcohol.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Alcohol. Someone said it's too late for me to stay sane.
About alcohol, we're now having a home delivery from Otaru Beer Company, and they because they are a craft beer company and they don't have a long shelf life. They were discounting their beer, and they have their own delivery service. So we've been having some really good Otaru beer at our home.
Nice.
Wow.
And they will discount certain types. It's a rotating kind of a thing, I guess, to keep you interested. About the lighting, right
Addicted.
now, at my dining table, and I have too much light. I have window over. When I'm teaching, I am up on a 3rd floor in my daughter's room, right under the beams of the roof. And at certain times of day, the light is perfect, but I'm in the mountains, and when the sun goes down behind the mountains, the light changes completely. So the ring light is a saver, and then choice.
Maybe I'll get one.
Yeah, and it was cheap. My son insisted that I get it, and it has settings for a warm light and a cool light, and it has a dark in the 2 power settings too, so you can adjust things so you don't look too blue or too whatever, as your light situation changes. The other thing is about where to work. I have committee meetings, and I know certain committee meetings are going to last a long time. So if I am going to be sitting still for 3 hours, my legs blow up like balloons. So the last time I anticipated at least a 2-hour meeting, so I was on my bed with my feet up with a zaisu behind me, the floor chair.
On the bed?
Back, because my bed doesn't have a headboard. And Then I elevated my computer on using my ironing board on top of my bed. It looked crazy, but I was able to start a 3-hour meeting, have good lighting, and my legs didn't swell, and I was able to keep a smile and to stay present, but it took some doing. But depending on what I'm doing online, I will change places, especially because the legs and the feet are a huge issue. Big problem. So flying on an airplane is difficult too. So I double up on the support socks when I'm on.
Support socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Interesting to hear how everyone's adapting their homes. But yes, Teresa.
So just to add, of course, I would have 2 Zoom sessions, and I would make sure to stand up, go out, go upstairs, have lunch, and take that hour break, and then come downstairs and start Zoom again. So sometimes I did 4 90-minute Zooms a day for my university classes.
Yeah.
So I had to stand up and walk and come back. That was really important. Stand up and walk.
Yeah, I know it's really easy for me to work, not because it's good, but I forget. Like I will be working for hours and hours and hours.
Yes.
And then I feel terrible or get sick or something. So yeah, definitely.
We are the worst workaholics. We're workaholics here.
Even if you don't have a garden, get plants or flowers around you. During my off time, I'm in my garden, and my son is home, working at home now, and we are gardening, and we have actually tomatoes growing this year, but the garden has kept us sane.
Sounds lovely.
And to go outside now and see if the morning glories are blooming yet, or to look outside the window to see if the blackberries are ready to be picked or whatever. But that distraction is keeping me grounded, like literally grounded. But a plant, a flower, anything that's alive is just so important. And the cat helps too. The cat does definitely.
Yeah, I have like 20 pots on the wall on my veranda, so I can see about half of them from the window right now.
Please post pictures of your gardens, everyone. I'd love to see them because I am not really successful with plants. But Glenn was raising his hand.
Well, only because Rissa posted something in the chat. She's asking about the ring light, whether it's used with a smartphone or a computer.
Yep. The answer is right underneath. Depending on where you look for them and how you search for them, they come in many different sizes. They were originally designed for studio work. So they were originally designed to actually mount on the front of a video. So they started from that size. When smartphones started becoming more popular, they were adjusted down. So it depends on how you search for them and how much you are willing to spend. The ones that you can get for DSLR cameras, which I almost bought for myself, began at 3,000 yen. So if you want to get them bigger, you can get them, but they are really expensive. They were not designed for this kind of work until they got down to phone size. But it depends on how you search for them and your budget.
So what powers them then?
Depends. Battery, or they can be charged, or they can run, in the case of some of them, they were running from the camera's battery. All kinds of ways, Glenn.
Okay.
Really depends. There's a whole variety of them. Check them out.
I have I can plug it into the side of my computer. What's the what's that jack called? It's not
USB.
USB jack. I can plug it right into my computer body and use that power source.
I'll be talking a little bit about that at Zoom Revisited, because I'm going to be talking about the digital stage and how you prepare your digital stage. We'll be talking about lighting, mounting your computer, if you guys want to go a little bit more into it there. But we are over time here, and we want to get to, I think, round 3, Cassie?
Yeah. Oh, this is the third group, but so are you guys good with the blue section? And again, I'll share the slides here, but I see some really kind of funny answers too. Unplugging the internet. Unfortunately, I'm terrible at that, but I really should just put my phone on manner mode or something once in a while. Okay, so yeah, just if you guys are fine. I mean, we've kind of been giving each other advice and, you know, recommendations this whole time, but do you have, you know, some big pieces of advice that really are important to remember or you would like to share with anyone else? Like, just for me, what we just talked about, I need to remember to stop and move around and take breaks, or I will get sick. Joe is raising his hand. I don't know if that's
yeah. I just wanted to mention that keep in mind that whatever we are experiencing or going through, our students are also. So, you know,
And
give them a break sometimes.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. Like, we feel crazy with all this new technology and stuff, and then our students feel crazy times 9 or however many different teachers they have using different things. So yeah, I guess that's really good advice, Joe. And I know for me, I tried to just be as relaxed as possible each class. I've seen even on OTJ forums, people have different policies. Some people are super, super strict about, you know, deadlines and things like that. You must submit it this way. And others are different. Others say, oh, if you can submit it a different way, that's fine. But maybe for me personally, like Joe said, I'm trying to give my students a break. Unless I've reminded them 10 times throughout the semester that they have to do this and they still don't do it. Well, you know, at least I tried. Yeah, anyone else? Oh, Glenn again?
Well, I'm real lucky. I work in the office, not at home, and I have 2 good colleagues here, one on either side of me. And one of my pieces of advice is talk to them. I mean, we can go to the OTJ Facebook site a lot, but if you've got people right there, if nothing else, they can help practice something with you, or you can find a student to help test something before you do it live in a class. We do that all the time.
Yeah, I feel so lucky at both of my schools, the English programs, not necessarily like the university itself, but the heads of English departments had training sessions, and not because they were all experts, but they said, okay, let's try to figure out, you know, Moodle together, Microsoft Teams together. Here are some things you can do, and kind of teaching each other. And I know some other people didn't have that support. But yeah, if you just practice with each other, that is so helpful. And if you can't get your colleagues because of, you know, scheduling or whatever, then yeah, anyone at OTJ, I think, you can probably post on the, you know, this, what's it called? Post on the page and say, I need to practice, blah, blah, blah. Does anyone want to help me? Great. Teresa? I'm sorry if I'm missing other people, but yeah.
No, it's okay. Yes, I use the call my friend and practice using Zoom, and we talked about different things, but I didn't get any support really from the university at all. Like,
wow,
no full-time staff, you know, volunteered to call us up and say, hey, are you guys okay? Part-time teachers, do you have the right equipment, etc. We had nothing. It was just like, there you go, get online, do your best.
Wow.
And I was so upset about that. So yeah, I used my colleague, just one person, and we talked about everything, how we were going to do it. So that was really helpful. Talk and practice, you know, with 1 or 2 people, not the whole department. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier if there's just a few of you. If it's the whole department, it's easy to get lost amongst the crowd, I guess.
Or judged.
Or
judged.
Are there judgy people
judged
in your?
Oh yeah, there are. Jose?
I know he's left us.
Oh.
What? What?
Oh, good. Oh,
What?
here he is.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, all right.
Michelle Nemoto in the chat box had said, have nodoame or cough drops with you?
Yes, I had a bowl. I had a bowl on my table.
That's a good idea.
Drink.
I think I forget about cough drops. I am actually a singer, or I sing in a choir, so I know about, like hot water and yuzu and honey and things like that, but I always kind of forget about cough drops. So yeah, it's a good idea too.
Too much coffee was not good.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we're gonna get into an argument if you keep
I did
pressing.
the
Uh-oh.
I did the too much coffee day a couple of times.
More coffee.
I was like, oh, hi everybody, how are you?
Uh-oh.
And they're like, what's wrong with you?
No, more coffee.
No more coffee. Not today.
No, punctuation is important. No, more coffee. Okay, not no more coffee. No, more coffee.
So blueberry candies helped a lot.
Candies, nice.
I also
Louise says, oh yes, Louise says she reminds her students they're welcome to take drinks. Yeah.
And especially, I was just about to say, remind yourself to hydrate. It's air conditioner season. You step outside, it's hot sun season. We're talking all the time. Keep lots of water handy, time your drinking breaks. A lot of the afflictions that we get with headaches and stuff, a lot of it can be attributed to dehydration, especially in summer. Really, really important.
Yeah, Mitchusho, everyone be careful. I know some of us are on break and others are finishing up, like John is still finishing up, but everyone please be careful with the heat and remembering to drink water. Okay. I feel like we're settling down unless people have any last suggestions or anything for us or for our students or other teachers.
Teachers.
I feel like since Cynthia started talking and then stopped.
Something in my head all the time is the argument or the concern of giving students their money's worth. And this is something that is becoming a huge issue in American universities. It's on the news. People are demanding discounts on the tuitions,
right.
And in Japan too, I think there is a movement started to have the colleges give partial refunds, et cetera, et cetera. But there's that aspect, but how much is enough? How much is enough? And also how long is enough? And I know during these Zoom sessions like yesterday, I was very excited to participate and mostly was just listening, but by the end, my head was buzzing and I was really, really tired. So can't, this like overload on the students, I think trying to make up for the fact that we are not face-to-face and we're missing a lot of things. That balance is a constant struggle with me. And I think it's just something we need to always be aware of. I don't have great answers yet, but if anyone else has some advice, I'd love to hear it.
I'm sorry, it hasn't been mentioned before, but I actually keep crystals around my computer. It's supposed to convert the energy, all the EMF energy. Has anybody heard of that before? Standing crystals? Big ones, not little ones, big ones.
I am not an expert on crystal, or I'm not really in the know about crystals. But Teresa seems very excited about them, so maybe I should.
No, see the big, you got to get big ones.
Wow.
Big standing ones. and I don't know, I don't know, they clean the air, they clean the EMF, the electromagnetic waves. If you keep one near you, on you, I feel better. I feel less better without it. So I think there is a bit of a difference. No, 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 no. Crystal. Quartz crystal. This is a smoky crystal, which
psychosomatic.
So it's pretty big.
Okay, so I'll write it down since Teresa seems very enthused about it. So maybe we can all look them up. But sorry to go back. Back to Cynthia's question. I know that a lot of us feel like our students feel like they're not getting their money's worth and they want discounts, which makes a lot of sense. And a lot of teachers feel pressure to kind of go above and beyond and become superstars, but it's kind of like impossible, I guess, because of everything, all the stress and COVID and that's why this is like emergency remote teaching as opposed to like regular online course. So it's kind of, that's a difficult question. I don't have any answers about that. But...
Well, Cynthia, you and I are about the same age, and we both are pretty dedicated toward teaching. Mm-hmm. I'm frankly as honest as possible when I talk to the kids. When I open up my class, I've got music in the beginning, just to let them know my sound is working and they can pick it up. But I honestly ask them, how you doing? And I pause for effect and I say, no, how are you doing? And every once in a while, I'll give them a little survey and just list, how stressed are you and what are you doing to get rid of it? Yeah. But I let them know, look, this is new to me too.
Exactly.
I'm really honest with them, and I not only sympathize, but empathize with them. So without using those two words, I let them know that, we're all trying to do the best we can.
Right.
I think that's about the most we really can do as teachers. And there are certain things that are out of our control. Like at my school, the students are not allowed to choose the first 2 semesters of courses. The school assigns them. Yeah. Now, I let the students know right away from day one, that's not my choice, and I wish we could do something different, but let's make the best of it. Things like that.
Right.
And we'll pause at different points during the lesson, but not too much because we do have work to do. But I also stick around at the end. The lesson's finished, whether I'm 5 minutes early or not, and I'll say, okay, I've written the homework assignments on the screen here. There are instructions themselves on the handouts, which you download. You got any questions here? Send it to me either in a private or a public chat.
Right.
Hang around for 5 minutes, if nothing else. Nobody asks anything, but
I give the students that option at the end. If you have a question that you don't want to ask when you're in the group, you can stay and I will stay with you. And actually some of those one-on-one or one-on-two chat sessions after everyone else is gone and the tension goes down, have been really, really good.
One of my colleagues here is on a certain Kyohiku Inkai committee, and he gets a lot of information directly from the students about the various teachers. Plus he hears or he reads what the students are saying on Twitter. Cool. And one key thing was mentioned, I think it was last night, was just the way that we respond to the text message or the emails that they send us. A simple, hey, thanks for the question, or sorry to hear you had this problem.
Right.
So helpful to them. It eases their mind a lot. You come off sounding like a better person that way.
I agree.
Actually, the other day, a student submitted her final project very, very late, and she said, I'm sorry, I've just lost my mental control and I've been distracted by my job hunting. This is a 2-year school, so it's a major, the job search is a major preoccupation. And she said, will you accept my project and will you look at it? And I said, you know what? Yes, I will. And you didn't give up. I like your never give up attitude. You contacted me, it's late, yes. You have an excuse, yes. But you engaged with me, you explained, you sent it, and you asked me for my cooperation. And that attitude of just not resigning herself to failure, I said, I respect your never give up attitude. I'm happy to look at it. I'm happy to accept it now. And she sent me a big thank you. But I thought, you know, maybe I should be saying that. Sometimes it depends on the student, of course, but more often. And I think our 2-year program students, the Tandai students, there's no extra time for anything. They are, everything is crammed into 2 years. To fail a course, you know, is just almost devastating because there's no time to make up the work, etc. So to give them that benefit of the doubt, and if they're facing their failure or their lateness or being very, very straight with me, I really respect that. And I told her. So I think maybe
even when you have to tell them no, you don't get to do an extra report or whatever the no is, I always start with saying, I'm sorry, but no.
Right.
I mean, you just ease them into it. Or
yeah.
I even explain to them why. Things like, well, semester's done, you didn't do a lot of homework.
Right.
No, you can't do a report, I'm sorry, because that's not fair to all the other kids.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to interrupt because I totally agree with both of you. Scott has been raising his hand for a while. So if you'd like to chime in, Scott.
Oh yeah, no, we were talking about stress in the classroom not too long ago, and I wish I had mentioned this before the activities, but there's a perceived stress scale that you can find online, and turning that into an activity, whether with Google Forms or just as a discussion activity, I think is really great in like that 4 skills class, because it allows the students to see what their own stress level is, and then the second part of the activity can be active ways to manage stress. So I think if we take some of these concerns, we can actually turn them into active lesson plans.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got a link for that, Scott?
I don't. I'm sorry. It's my resources are locked behind a university domain, so everything I created can't be actively shared. But the perceived scale stresses are 20 questions. So if you wanted to copy that into a Google form, it will only take about 10 minutes or so.
I just ask my kids occasionally, like 2-3 times in the semester, how's your stress level? And then I'll put it in my own words, give them like 5 different levels, do the poll, show them the results, and then I talk about them and I say some advice about the various levels. And I remember once in the semester, I told them, okay, now in the public chat, everybody just type, how do you deal with it? How do you get rid of it? And then I talked about those as they came up. And if nothing else, that's the least you can do.
Right.
Glenn, sorry, guys, Cassie, if I may, for just a second.
Yeah.
We're coming up on 2 o'clock, and the session with Flipgrid is about to start. And I just want to remind the people who were looking forward to that, this is a fascinating conversation. So I know that people might end up having to go into that one late, and I actually have to be there. So the recording will be ending very much at 2 o'clock. So just want to remind everybody that 2 o'clock is coming up.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm the older I get, I think sometimes the crankier I get, but also I get. And I think with COVID, it's pushing, especially when I keep the cable news off. You know, I tend to stay calmer and kinder. And I do send the students off with, do something fun. You know, I used to tell them, go and sing English songs at the karaoke place, but now because it's a cluster, it's a place where the clusters are happening with COVID, tell them to go sing. But you can stay home and sing, but do something fun. You know, that's one of my things. Do something.
There's always YouTube, I guess, right? So.
Exactly. YouTube is great, right?
If I can throw in my 2 cents on that, it reminded me, Cynthia, that I wanted to say this about 10 minutes ago, but I wrote in Keeping Yourself Sane, and it's reminded me here about advice. I wrote very simply, OTJ was keeping me sane. And in the sense, not just that my friends were there and I was making a lot of new friends and learning a lot of stuff, but it gave me a purpose. It gave me a new direction to drive in, to really put my energy into. And strangely enough, I think paradoxically, when we have more time at home, that boredom actually piles up on us stress as well. But I think that what I did to keep myself busy by working through OTJ to help others was a form of finding a different purpose. And I think this is a good chance for us to find different purposes. A lot of us are going to be looking at Google certification as the next thing to do after these summer sessions are over, and find something to put your extra energy into, find a new purpose. I think that's what kept me sane. And that's, I think, the advice that I would give to others.
Extra energy is not a problem. Not these days. Used to.
Okay. Well, you know, as the French say, chacun son goût. So whatever extra levels you may or may not have.
It used to be an issue, but then, you know, I haven't had much extra energy. I've always been able to consume it very quickly. But I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, Jose. Actually, I'm involved in an NPO now in Hokkaido, in Sapporo.
Ooh.
That also is a really nice direction for my energy. It's a group that collects and repairs wheelchairs and sends them around the world.
Wow.
And
Amazing.
called the Go Fly wheelchairs in English. And but you know, it's a good group, and the people are amazing, and they keep my brain going in a positive direction, which is really good. And I help with the English, so you know, the English PR, et cetera, et cetera. So
Wonderful. Volunteering. So yes, it is almost 2 o'clock. So I think we probably should end here because of Flipgrid, which I will probably be listening in on passively.
Okay, so I want everyone to open up their mics. We're going to give Cassie a round of applause and say goodbye officially. Everybody, round of applause for Cassie.
Thank you so much. I know, Stephen, you didn't get to talk so much, but I hope you are okay.
Okay, I was taking it all in. It was okay.
Okay, yeah, just a message on the Facebook group if you want to comment.
Everybody, officially goodbye. I'm hitting the record stop button.
Yeah.
Okay.